My name is Arielle Lawson. I'm finishing up my third year of my PhD at the University of Manchester, and my PhD research is looking at feminist spatial politics in New York City and London in the 1970s. My placement is with the Working Class Movement Library in Salford. The project that I am working on is called the People's Papers, so it's looking at kind of print culture and newspapers in particular from 1970s kind of greater Manchester area. It's looking at the collection at the Working Class Movement Library, so they're often connected to disparate neighborhoods and not often seen all together. So the project aim is to kind of bring all of the various local newspapers that were in different neighborhoods together into kind of forming a collection. I was very excited to get to partner with the Working Class Movement Library here because you get a little bit more of the kind of behind the scenes and kind of active engagement with the archive. So getting to learn about how it actually works and how it's maintained and cared for. And then also I think I was very excited to get to think about how the archival research connects to kind of public programs and kind of a more public focus of the research. What has been really exciting about getting to work here is that it is for a public audience. So kind of converting some of these more academic, like solo research skills towards like a kind of more public focus has been really nice. So getting to do blog posts, getting to do kind of like social media posts, but also, yeah, planning some events, which has been very exciting. The Working Class Movement Library, I think, is very open to those types of collaborations. They have all of the archival resources here in their amazing collection, but they don't necessarily have the capacity to actually do all of that research themselves. So this is the current exhibit that's up in the space. So this is featuring Big Flame, which is a group that was involved in the 1970s. For this project, and I think kind of speaks to the Working Class Movement Library's role that they have here. This was part of a project called the Little Flames, and so it brought together a kind of current group of young people to do the archival research and also to kind of curate the exhibit. It's a nice, I think, example of kind of this like archival process that also is still very engaged with kind of current contemporary issues and current people who are still doing things. So for me, this is one of those examples where you actually kind of get to see the archive like in action. You can get to see it still alive. There's so much in the archive that people don't really know about, and there's so much that feels so relevant when you actually read it today. Most of the archival collections are stored in the basement. So yeah, this is the lovely archive, and as you can see, there are many boxes with lovely things to explore. Some of the stuff that I've particularly been looking at has been the Manchester materials. I love this section of rambling periodicals. I haven't actually looked at it yet, but it's on my list. There is really so much here, so lots to explore. And I feel like so much of it is really kind of just waiting to be researched. I've been coming into the archive about once a week, and so that is time to go through things in person, go through papers, and then also doing some digitizing, and also getting to meet with people and talk with people here. Interested in kind of the research process and kind of the learning process, but I don't necessarily think it has to be within academia. In an ideal situation, I would like kind of a more public-facing role or a more like participatory role. I guess like thinking about ways that the research could also be engaged today in a different way. The PhD is supposed to be kind of all-consuming in a lot of ways, so managing the kind of how much time you give to a side project, I think you need to figure out that balance. I think it's a really kind of unique opportunity in a lot of ways to get to explore something that you're really passionate about or have a connection with an institution that you think would be a really good fit, and as like kind of a way to not only maybe gain new skills or get to work with a different type of organization, but also just to have that different focus of the research and have actually like a public audience for it, I think for me has been really special. So you have someone that you're kind of sharing with and for in a way that the PhD itself, sometimes you're kind of disconnected from a bit in that capacity.